How's it going, everyone? So today we are working on this Honda HR215 that the owner wants to have a spring tune-up. It's not quite spring yet, it's a couple months away. It's in the winter, doesn't look like it outside, but it is. And the fact I'm wearing shorts, but I'm crazy. Anyway, we're going to be doing a tune-up. Now if you want to skip to that point, I'm going to go to this time and we'll start there. But I want to tell a quick story about this and kind of to address a comment that I got. So go ahead, sit down, and let's have a quick chat. This machine runs, no problem. The owner, however, wants a new carburetor to be installed. And he was pretty adamant about that, so I gave him an option of an OEM one and an aftermarket one. He chose the aftermarket. So what we're going to be doing today is we're putting a aftermarket carb on, air filter. This is the wrong one. That was his attempt to try to do part of it himself, which is why he brought it to me. And spark plug, oil, blade sharpening, and we're going to look and make sure the wheels are okay, the cables are good, you know, stuff like that. Now, before, I had made a video about a different machine, I think it was a Honda as well, and the person that left a comment saying that I should be more direct to the person, saying that, you know, this is junk, you are wrong, get out of my garage. And let me explain something real quick about why I don't do that. So this is going to help you if you do this as well. So like I said, if you don't want to watch that, go to that previous time, or listen to this, go to that previous time, and you won't have to hear this. Anyway, my job is to do what the customer wants. Now, I will do a couple things. One, I will work on it. Two, I will provide my opinion. It is not my responsibility, or nor should it be, to tell a person they are wrong with their own property. It's not mine. Would I do it if it was mine? No, it's not. However, if they're going to pay me, I'm going to do their wishes. I will give them my opinion, and if they wish to take it, guess what? That's great. If they don't, then guess what? It's not my fault. We did everything the way that they wanted it, and maybe that's the way they like it. Some people drive yellow cars. I think that's stupid, but you know, they do that. So the point being is, we're going to do what the customer wants. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to take off this not proper air filter first. It didn't want to come off. Anyway, we have a good one. First things first, we need to take off the carb. Actually, the first thing I forgot, these do not have a fuel shut-off on the line. They have it on the carb. So we're going to take a pair of pliers, because there's fuel in this machine, I believe, and crimp off the line. Just double check that first. Yes, there's fuel. Okay, get you a hair closer, shall we? This is the first mower of 2025. I don't know when this is going to be released, but this is the first mower I'm working on in 2025. Not the first project, but definitely the first mower. Okay. Now, I think we're going to, I'm going to go grab the carburetor and then we will take this one off and replace it. Now, for some reason, the aftermarket carbs that you find online come in two different ways. The style that we have here and the style that has a sediment bowl. The style that has a sediment bowl is by far the most common. In fact, it's pretty much the only thing you can find. You really have to search for the other style. And this one does not have a sediment bowl. The aftermarket versions that do not have a sediment bowl are both expensive and they're going to take forever to get here, which is really kind of odd, because the reason why you get aftermarket stuff, in my opinion, is for cost and convenience, because you just buy it online and You don't have to talk to the scary parts people at the store, or if you do buy an OEM one online, you don't have to pay the price, hence the cost. So it was really odd to me. Having said that, we went with a cheaper option that has the sediment bowl because of that reason. Now, you do have to be careful when you do stuff like that. You want to make sure of a couple things. You need to make sure that the top of the carburetor is the same, how the linkages connect, and it looks like they are. That's really the very important part. And they fit exactly the same. Ooh, we almost did the boo-boo. Is there a gasket in this box? Oddly enough, when you order this carb, it comes with the wrong air filter. That is fun. It's probably the reason why. Because if you were to just type in HR215, you probably just get a variety of generic looking air filters that are not appropriate. None of those gaskets really look like they're correct. Let me take a look and see if I have a different one. Found the correct one. I want to be careful we don't rip this. The only other one that came with the carb doesn't look like it's going to work very well, so now I'm going to put this on before it touches the gasket, so I can make sure I put the gasket on the correct way. And I did. Okay, it has a very specific shape, as you can probably tell. So let's lift. Let's see if we can do this. This is always the fun part. Sometimes it's just easier just to bend it a little bit and bend it back, which is what we're going to do. There we go. We just bend it back. Put our fuel line on. That's the easier with it like this. I know there's a clip there, but these clips are super irritating to put back on, and they're not that hard to put on. Why isn't that? There we go. Now this little spring here is important and has a little hole off to the side. So we want to make sure we put it in its correct location. Okay, let's remove the fuel clamp. Fuel is set to on right now. I'm going to hold it right here. This does have a manual choke lever, so let's see if the choke will turn on under choke. That is choke, it is turning on. That is full throttle. Choke is working just fine. Okay. So let's put this on next. It's easier to check your choke while you have full visibility than putting it on, assuming it's working, and then you have problems later and you try to diagnose something you can't really see very well in that little spacer. Okay. Now we can put this back on. We'll put the 10 millimeters just finger tight for the moment. There's a longer 10 millimeter that goes over here. This one though we can tighten all the way. And then we just tighten these two. Because it doesn't have the bushing, we have to be careful. But let's connect the vent hose. Okay, now I'm just gonna put the air filter on. The fuel's been on this entire time, so it should be good to go. This is the air filter that should come through on it. It doesn't have a top. The incorrect one does have a top, so it's understandable why it would become a little confusing. Just know that you do not want the top. This one is not that style, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it on. Just so you know the reason, these won't actually fit through. They need to go through the carburetor, through the air filter. With the top on there, it's just going to be sitting there and you don't really have anything to screw it onto. One thing you will never see happen in this garage, unless it's for testing purposes only, NGK only, especially for Hondas. That is the quickest way to cause a problem. This is Denso. This must have been on there for a long time. It's not bad. NGK. I know the carburetor kit probably came with a torch, or I don't know, whatever the brand name they want to print on there. Never use those. Like I said, it's the quickest way to develop a problem. Now, Bill, I'm sure there's someone out there who has had nothing but good things to say about torch. They have torch plugs and everything, including their light bulb, but not here. NGK only. Now, let us go ahead and give it a pull. This also has a blade clutch. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get it started, make sure it runs, and then I'm going to turn you off, let it run for a minute or two longer, just to kind of get the oil a little warmer and moving around, get the sediment and stuff out of it. And we're going to tip it over, change the oil, and do the blades next. But we need to make sure it runs. Unfamiliar machine, so pull it slowly the first time. Seems fine. Let's do this. So I don't know if the reason why that is occurring is because it's cold. They haven't used this for like a month. And it is, according to my phone and my watch, 43 degrees outside. So that could be the reason. I'm going to turn it back on, let it run, and if there's a problem, I'll bring it back. Oh, actually, there's a little bit of a difference. So there's an adjustment needle that seemed like it was very screwed out. So I turned it all the way in, and I turned it to two turns out. I then turned it back on and put the clutch on. Blade spun, absolutely no problem. So I think it was just not really tuned well. It is cold though, so I might do another turn half out, but that's about it. Let's get this oil changed. I have disconnected the spark plug. It has a clutch. I don't care. I'm going to disconnect the spark plug. The oil is being drained as we speak. It wasn't necessarily 100% warm. We can give it a little extra time to drain out while we do this. Wow. It is weird. I thought this was the type that had a double blade. It must be too old though. It does have this though. I'm just going to touch this with flap disc on a grinder and then yeah, should be good to go. And of course I will make sure that is balanced. Blade is sharp now and balanced. So from here forward, you have two choices: torque wrench or ugga ugga. I chose ugga ugga. And there we go. Now, when you do ugga ugga, you want to make sure you don't over ugga ugga it. Otherwise, you'll strip it out. And then you just cause yourself a whole lot of problem with that clutch. I'm going to put some oil in, and then, I mean, that's pretty easy. Look up your amount. I believe this takes like 500 or 600 milliliters. I'm going to look at it. And then, yeah, we'll make sure everything runs good. I'm sure most people realize that doing oil changes is a good thing for any gasoline or even diesel, for that matter, engine. This one I don't think has been done for a while. It was pretty black. And right now we are perfect. So, in there is 10W30. And I think we have earned ourselves a celebratory turn on. Let's go ahead and plug in the plug and get started. Choke. And plug. See what happens. Well, let's try this again. I think we might do a quick adjustment on it though. It is pretty cold, so let's see. Let's do a little bit more. I think the main issue is just that it's cold. It is old. This is not a new machine whatsoever. And it jet could be a little richer in my opinion, but I don't think it's going to be any hindrance to it. It's probably where it needs to be. I'd rather have it be a little rich than lean, but probably good for, you know, regulations and whatnot and so on and so forth, yada yada yada. So we are good to go. We've successfully tuned this up. Now, like I said, you don't need to do the carb. They want to do the carb. The wheels appear to be pretty good. They don't have any, they're not grinding. They all move very smoothly. I did use all the cables. Obviously the transmission works. So if you, at this point, need a new cable, you potentially could oil it. If it's a little sticky, or clean it if it's dirty at the end. But as of right now, I think we're pretty set. This is a pretty simple machine. The clutch works. Everything looks like it's good to go. So I think we're going to call this machine tuned up. The only other thing I might consider, but it's not really on this machine, is looking at the condition of that pull cord if you haven't already. When I pulled on it, I took a quick look. There's no fraying. It's dirty, but it's not fraying. And it's the thick line, so it should be pretty good. I'm going to leave you at that. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. If you like what you see, keep watching. Definitely subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If this helped you out, leave a thumbs up, because that definitely helps me out. And I will catch you on the next video. You have a good night.